Jeanette, and I am in my sister's kitchen, which is a lot of fun for me to do these product reviews. So I did this last week on my stories and people loved it, and I promised that I would be back, and here I am doing a video for you guys. All right, now, it's not easy going through the grocery stores. Companies have really made it almost like a job to go through the grocery store and having to read labels of everything that you buy. It sucks, but it's all about money. That's what it comes down to. How can they put lower quality products in our food so that they can save money? And it's a sad state of affairs, but this is where we at. So I want to educate you, and I want to keep it simple. I'm not going to overwhelm you with a bunch of stuff, keeping it simple. So the first thing I want to talk to you is about peanut butter. And this is one of the easiest things to be educated on. All you want to see when you read a label is the nut. Peanut butter, peanuts. I like to have salt with it. So, you know, salt is not a bad thing when it comes to peanut butter. What do they add to nut butters? Hydrogenated and partially hydrogenated oils. Your nut butters do not need no oil, right? If you get something natural, you're going to see this much oil. And what happens when people see that? They don't like that. I'm like, oh my, look at that peanut butter with oil. That's the good oil. That's the nut oil. So we go for things like this because, oh, this is easier to pour, to use. It's not good. Now, what does it have? Sugar. Sugar. Why? I don't know. We don't need it. And hydrogenated oils. Simple. All right, where do we go? All right, Smuckers. I grew up with my grandmother giving me some jam with my crackers, and I loved it. But back then, I'm sure it was sugar. Now it's high fructose corn syrup. I say that word over and over and over again. Don't buy stuff that has high fructose corn syrup. Cane sugar. There's nothing wrong with that if you're having it in limited quantities. That's it. This is, you know, it's strawberries and high fructose corn syrup. It's not the same. They've convinced us that it's the same thing. It is not. And it came about because sugar prices were really high way back when, and they made this. And after the sugar prices went down, they kept it in our food because they realized it was so dirt cheap. All right, here we go. Yogurts, and I love talking about yogurts because there's so many options and it can be totally overwhelming. A yogurt. Greek yogurt plain. That is the key, plain. Once you start adding flavor, the artificial colors, the flavoring, the sugar, all that gets in there. Greek yogurt tastes bitter. I don't like Greek yogurt. What do? I add fresh fruit. I have it like that. My kids won't have that. So they won't have that. So what do? You add a teaspoon of honey, a teaspoon of maple syrup, and you sweeten it. Now you control the ingredients. You want to use organic fruits? Even better, right? But when you see fat, look at this, fat-free light. What is fat-free light? OMG. And they use this because they know that we are attracted to fat-free light. All we think about, oh my God, it doesn't have any calories. It must be great. Guys, your body needs calories. Don't be afraid of calories. Be afraid of bad ingredients. All right, carrageenan. That's something that I talk about all the time. Carrageenan. Why? Because if you have irritable bowel syndrome, if you have a sensitive stomach, carrageenan is going to cause gastric inflammation. Okay, that's one of those products that's out there everywhere. It could be inorganic because it's made out of seaweed, and seaweed is natural. Try to avoid it. This is one serving, 3 teaspoons of sugar. Okay, that's kind of like a lot. If you're just having this every single day, it has, well, yeah, the carrageenan and aspartame. There you go, aspartame, artificial sweeteners, and that's how they make it fat-free, no sugar, because they're adding artificial sweeteners. Catch up. If you guys follow me, you know. And I get upset because the same companies will give you a bad product. When you go to Heinz, you're going to see Simply, you're going to see Heinz, and you're going to see organic Heinz. Why do they need to create ketchup 3 different ways? Heinz, when I went, it was the same price. The Simply to this, same price. Okay? High fructose corn syrup. The Simply brand has cane sugar. No need for this. Okay? And here's what we can do as consumers. Once we stop purchasing this because we become educated, they're not going to sell this anymore. They're not going to make it because we're leaving it there on the shelf. So we play a big role. Obviously, government could care less about regulating these companies. They don't. So it's up to us not to consume them. And I know it's a little hard. Now, Progresso chicken broth. Here, when you're talking about broth, it's the amount of sodium, right? You want to get low sodium. This per cup has 820 milligrams of sodium. OMG, you guys. Remember, 1,500 milligrams to about 2,000 is what they recommend. 2,000 for those who are active and sweating and outside, working out. Not if you're sitting in a desk on air conditioning and not sweating, okay? So try to get low sodium. Chocolate. If you're Cuban, you kind of know this, that we love to add chocolate to our milk and give it to our kids. It really is a Cuban thing. They've gotten a little better by taking away the high fructose corn syrup and the colors. But guess what it's in here? Carrageenan, right? Carrageenan and soy. You don't want to be giving soy to your... I just don't believe in consuming soy. It's very poor quality out there unless it's organic. I have thyroid disease. I try to avoid it. So the number one ingredient, when you're reading an ingredient list, it goes by, remember, by quality, by quantity. So the number one ingredient in here is sugar. You can do this at home. You get cocoa powder, that's pure chocolate, which is going to be bitter, but guess what? You can use cane sugar. So 1 teaspoon of cane sugar with a nice teaspoon of pure cocoa powder and organic milk, and you have good tasting, quality milk instead of this. You're welcome. So you guys, my boot camp for May, open enrollment. I have 9 spots left. I want you guys to join me, really. And you know I say this often. Having the tools is really the key to making your health journey a lifestyle journey. Quick fixes, that's all they're at. That's all there is, quick fix. You know, what I provide with our nutrition that your whole family can use, that you'll never have to think about nutrition again. You don't need another program. I gotcha. So you want to do fitness? We got you too. So you choose if you want to do both or just really focus on nutrition. To my CrossFitters, to my Orange Theory people, you don't have a nutrition plan. Use ours while you go out there and work your butt off at the gym. So thank you for watching. Message me